Not seeing you in Clubhouse.
Oh, come on. Crap. Everybody, welcome to the show. It's me, Matt Slick. You're listening to Matt Slick Live. And as usual, if you want to give me a call, all you have to do is dial 877-207-2276. I want to hear from you. Give me a call. Today's date is February 19th, 2024. All right. Now, so I need to kind of give you guys a heads up. So I'm not going to the conference out in Tennessee. Let's just say there's a family emergency, and so I had to cancel the trip. And nothing too big, but just how family stuff is sometimes. So I'll be on the air today, but not for the rest of the week. And that's it. Just giving you a heads up. So if any of you are trying to get out to the Tennessee thing to meet me, I'm not going to be there. I've already canceled the flight, canceled everything, so I just can't make it. That's the way it goes. So if you want to give me a call today, it's easy. All you have to do is dial 877-207-2276. Real easy to do. I want to hear from you. Give me a call and we can talk. I think we got somebody coming in. So I was in Salt Lake City, let's see, Friday evening and then Saturday morning. And a lot of people showed up. It was great. Had a great time Friday and Saturday. And then they had to cut the trip short and come back here because of the family thing. And so it was great. It was great. And I had a good time. And if Bill and Eric are listening, hey, you guys did such a good job in that place. In fact, I got to tell you guys, I took some pictures. And I may just do an article on their place, the Utah Christian Resource Center. It's really good. In fact, I've known Bill for over 30 years, and so I'm always teasing him. And I said, man, this is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So he goes, thanks. So, so it really was really nice. I was teasing him, but it really is good. You guys can go there and go check it out. They're very friendly there. And there's a front room and then a hallway and then a back room. The back room is where I spoke. And they're going to have a lot of people there. They're going to have Sandra Tanner there pretty soon. Sandra Tanner. She's in her 80s. She's officially kind of-ish retired. And she's great. I've met her numerous times. And she's awesome. So if you want to go check her out, just go to mrm.org and type in resource center, and you'll find all the information and stuff like that. mrm.org. So I hope they're listening. And whenever I think about them, I think of Terry, if Terry's listening, because Terry's always full of smiles. So, it was a great time. And sorry, missed a chili, Terry. Sorry about that. Okay. Well, all right. So I think that's pretty good. And like I said, if you want to give me a call, all you have to do is dial 877-207-2276. All right. All right. Let's get on the air with Kevin from North Carolina. Kevin, welcome. You are on the air.
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, busy, hectic, worn out, tired, and, a little obstreperous. That's how I am.
All of the above.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm in the same boat. So,
and that means we're in a.
My question for you is.
Go ahead.
Is that I keep hearing lately in like social media and stuff like that, they're talking about Jesus' true name as Yeshua, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
And his name was translated to that through the Greek and the Latin into English. And if that's the case, are we worshiping the wrong person? I'm not sure.
No, it doesn't work like that.
How did Jesus Christ come about if that's his true name is Yeshua, and how come we're not using that?
Okay, so what you do with these people who cause problems, who don't know what they're talking about, who are ignorant, okay, what you do is you say, what's the oldest manuscripts we have of the New Testament in any language? What's the oldest we have? You ask them that. And
wouldn't it be
the what?
I'm sorry.
No, what is
The scrolls? Wouldn't those be the oldest?
No, those are the Old Testament, are the scrolls. The New Testament is codices.
Oh, okay, the New Testament.
The New Testament is codices, which are pages. So you ask them, what's
Okay.
the oldest written that we have from the date that goes back? What is it? And the answer is, it's in Greek. Why is it that God chose to have the New Testament written in Greek? Because it was the lingua franca. Because 300 years earlier, Alexander the Great had come through the Mediterranean area, conquered it, and made Greek a national kind of a language. It was the common trade language, the common language. So Greek is a very powerful language, very precise. And so if you're going to write the Gospels and you're going to write the epistles and you want to evangelize the world, what language are you going to write it in? Aramaic, which like 8 people would understand, if you get my drift? Or are you going to do it with millions and millions would understand?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
one? You're going to go Greek. And that's what we have. We have the Greek manuscripts. And the Greek manuscripts have the word Jesus. And it's used over 900 times in the New Testament. 900 times.
Okay.
914 to be exact. So the name Jesus is literally in the Greek IASOU, or you can say S, okay? So what it is, when you look at this, it's IASOUS. That's the literal transliteration. Iota, Eta, Sigma, Omicron, Upsilon, Sigma. Those are the Greek letters. And how you literally, the best pronunciation we have that I'm aware of is Jesus. Jesus. Jesus.
Right.
That's how you pronounce it. And Christos is the word for Christ. And like, for example, the word Savior is soteros. See, what we're doing is we're translating. My name in Spanish is Mateo. Okay, in English it's Matt or Matthew.
Right.
So in Greek it's Matthias. All right. So we had to pronounce the right name, because what if my name, is Matthew, but in Spanish, someone's talking to me and say, "¿Cómo estás, Mateo? How are you, Matt?" I said, "Well, that's not my name. My name's Matthew. You have to say it right, or otherwise it's not really me." It's dumb. You see that? It's dumb.
Yeah.
So what's happening is this. Now we'll go to Matthew 1:21. She shall bear a son. This is what the angel is saying. The birth of Jesus Christ is as follows, right? That's verse 18. Joseph, her husband, etc. She will bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. Now, was his name Yeshua in Hebrew? Probably. But his name in Greek is Jesus. My name in Spanish is Mateo. In Greek is Matthias. In English is Matthew. They're all the same thing. You don't have to pronounce it the right way. Otherwise, you're serving the wrong God. It's the stupidity of that argument and the stupidity of this stuff that they do, and they cause problems. Now, what I can do is I can say, look, what's the name of God? Now, we go to, for example, Genesis, and, we look up the word Lord, okay? And we find out that it's the Greek word, the Hebrew Yahweh. Well,
Yahweh.
Yes, it is, but let me show you something. So this occurs, this is, which one is that? That's 3068. That occurs 6,517 times in the Hebrew Bible. So what's the correct pronunciation of Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh? Because the word Yahweh, which is what we just say in English, is actually a way to pronounce the 4 consonants in Hebrew, because the vowel points were not there in the original. So you could have like the word table or table or tibble or tobel, because the different vowel changes everything. So if you don't know exactly what the original vowels were, then how do you know how to pronounce it? So what we have here is Yod, He, Vav, He. Yod, Hev, Vav, Hev. How do you pronounce that? Well, if they say that you have to have the word Jesus pronounced properly, it has to be Yeshua, or you're not serving Jesus. Give me a, just so stupid. Well, then what's the correct pronunciation of the tetra? It's called the tetragrammaton, the 4 letters. What's the correct pronunciation? No one knows. I guess they could be making a mistake, and by their own judgment will come upon them. They didn't pronounce his name right, so therefore they're in trouble. So this whole thing is legalistic nonsense. It's stupidity. All right? Are you there?
Yeah, well, I'm so thankful that you cleared that up for me because I was reading some of this stuff last night, and I'm like, you know what? I need to give Matt a call. And that was my first thing at 6 o'clock on my drive home.
Good.
Like, I got to get that number, and this question needs to be answered.
Good. Okay, let me give you another analogy.
Thank you so much for your time.
Let me give you another analogy.
Yes,
okay. So I'm Matt Slick. I'm on the radio. I'm 67 years old. I was born in Wyoming. I've moved 40 times. I now live in Idaho.
Okay.
All right. I run carm.org. All right.
Sure.
So what if someone says Matt Slick is not my real name, but thinks it's a radio name? Let's just say hypothetically that someone called up and called me a different name because they just did. And, they called me Johanna or they call me Michael or whatever. And it's happened. People have got my name wrong before. Let's say someone calls up and a listener just tunes in and hears someone call me that. And because of the conversation, I don't correct it because sometimes it happens. Okay. And then someone tells you that's his real name. And you say, what's the guy in the radio? Yeah. He's 67. Yeah. Has that MDiv from Westminster? Yes. All these things. Yeah. Well, that's him, right? You got the name pronunciation wrong, but it doesn't mean it's not me. You think it is, and that's what it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Because you didn't get my name right. It's Matt, not Michael. Therefore, you never did know who I was. You never understood anything about me. It's dumb.
Right.
It is really dumb. I guess.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. And I just worry because, Revelation says there's going to be false prophets in the end time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, just my perspective, I feel like we're growing closer and closer to the end times. And it's just, there's so much information out there. We're bombarded by it. It'd be really easy to be deceived into doing things that you shouldn't be doing. We just have to pray to God and ask Him to guide us.
Mm-hmm.
Is the main thing. But
yeah,
I was so glad I was able to get you on the phone and get this straightened out.
Okay, good. And that's what it is. So I hope it's really settled and you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Nobody knows how the name is exactly pronounced. And if they say you have to pronounce it exactly, well, then they're in trouble. No one knows what it exactly is. All right.
Right.
Okay. So there you go.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey, I appreciate you on your radio show, and I appreciate you. Take care and God bless.
You too, man. God bless. All right. Hey, folks, we have nobody waiting right now. If you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. I want to hear from you. Give me a call. We'll be right back.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. And in 09, it was sparks from me, your chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Somewhere there's a river rushing through the woods while someone rushes through their day. There's a mountain looking up at the sky while someone looks down at their phone. A trail waiting to be walked while someone waits for a latte. This world is full of somewheres waiting for someone just like you. So go see yours at 154 national forests and 20 grasslands. And to learn more, visit nationalforest.org. The National Forest Foundation. See yours somewhere.
Here are the contest rules for the Truth Network. Prizes won are not transferable, redeemable for cash, or exchangeable for any other prize. All prizes must be redeemed from the station within 30 days of winning. Only one prize per household from any station of Truth Broadcasting within any 30-day period. The rest of our contest rules are listed under the About Us link at our website, truthnetwork.com. Thanks for playing and listening to the Truth Network.
My name is Judy Teeter, and I'm the mother of 3 boys. My youngest, Joe, was a great kid. He loved sports, music, and his youth group. One day, Joe asked me to drive him to an after-school event, which was about a mile from our home. I was driving through a green light when a car in cross traffic ran a red light and drove right into the side of our car, killing Joe. The driver was talking on her phone, so she never even saw the red light. She was so absorbed in her phone call. Before the crash, I didn't realize just talking on a cell phone while driving was so dangerous. Now it's something I think about every day. According to the National Safety Council, about 1 in 4 car crashes involves a cell phone. Hands-free is no safer. When you're behind the wheel, put away your phone. For Joe and for the thousands of needless deaths every year. Remember, there is no safe way to talk on a cell phone while driving. Find out more at nsc.org/callskill.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. It's me, Matt Slick, and you're listening to Matt Slick Live. If you're a first-time listener, Matt Slick is my real name. Believe it or not, it's a cool radio name too. Matt Slick Live. And if you want to give me a call, all you have to do is dial 877-207-2276. And let's see what else. Been doing apologetics for about, since 1980, answering the Christian questions and challenges against the Christian faith. So there you go if you want to give me a call. You can also email me, anybody. If you want, you can email me at info@carm.org, info@carm.org. Just put the subject line, radio question or radio comment, and get to it. All right, Brian from Ohio. Hey, Brian, you're on the air.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
Doing all right. Hanging in there, man. What do you got, buddy?
All right. This is an unusual question. I don't want to take a lot of your time from the serious questions, but my wife and I listen to you on the way home every night from work, and you were talking about a week or two ago about the how you make your coffee with the chai tea in it and the chocolate, and we've been wanting to try that ever since, and wondered if you could give us a little insight as to what the recipe is for that.
Oh, it's good. I'm drinking it. I got it right at my desk right now. And a coffee mug someone sent me that I can operate with my phone has battery in it, so it keeps it hot for a long time. Hold on, I'm going to take a drink.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, that's good. All right, so my wife and I have an Nespresso machine, and about once a day, once every third day, I'll use it. And often what I'll do is I'll take not Folgers, but I take Nescafe coffee crystals because, that's other stuff's expensive. So I'll do that. Anyway, that's what I did today. And so I put the Hershey's chocolate creamer in it. And then I take a scoop of chai, CHAI. It's got crystals, chai stuff like that, and put it in there.
Oh, okay. It's not chai tea. It's the chai crystals. Okay.
It's powdered crystals.
What we're doing wrong.
Right. My wife got it at a coffee place, and we got to go back and get some more. So that's what we do. In fact, when my wife's girlfriends come over, I'll often make them really nice coffees. And what I'll do is I'll take glasses, not coffee cups, you can see through, and I'll put the different layers of coffee and stuff in there that you can see with the creamer, let it sit and the whole bit. Then I top it with with whipped cream, and then I give them a little spoon so they can stir it up and see it blend. And they get a kick out of it, and it's fun. I like doing it. So yeah, that's what I do for coffee.
All right. Well, thank you, Matt. Appreciate that very much, and appreciate you and your sound theology, keeping us straight and letting us know what the scriptures really say. So keep up the good work.
Well, I'm trying, man. I'm trying by God's grace. All right.
Okay. Well, take care. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, that's Brian from Ohio. I don't know if I've ever even been to Ohio. Seriously, don't even know. I can't remember. Maybe I have. I've done so many things. Who knows? All right. Champ, we don't have anybody waiting, so I'm looking at the text chat. Let's see if they type anything in there. One person says, we're living in times of deception. That is very true. That's very true. Love whipped cream. Whipped cream, someone says. That's right. Man, I make a good cup of coffee. I do. I've had people come over and go, well, I don't really like coffee. I go, you want to try it? And, the ones that let me talk them into it. And they go, man, that's good. So, yep. So, all right, there you go. Hey, let me see if I can get to some emails. Okay, wow, I can't even read that. All right, let's get into this. Oh yeah, the podcasts have not been updated with the show since January 22nd. That's right. I've been so busy just trying to catch up because we lost someone who quit on us and left us high and dryer. Just that was it. I don't even know where to go to figure out what to do. And that's it. I haven't even tried to look. So there's just different ways. And then once that's going, and once I get everything else done, then I'll have to figure out how to upload the podcast and do that. And I've just got so much on my plate that it's just another thing I have to do. And with my wife's health not being as good as it needs to be, it just adds even more on my plate. So one solution is to pilot higher. The other one is get a bigger plate. And what I've been doing is getting a bigger plate. So it just takes me longer to get stuff. All right. There you go. Let's see. We don't got that. Good day. I'm interested to know which translation of the Bible you all use. Well, I don't know about you all here at CARM, but the one I use is the NASB 95. I like the NASB 95. Says I've been enjoying the YouTube series on Romans, and I thought I'd get a copy of it. Yes, I taught an entire series on the book of Romans. And the outlines are there, downloadable, the videos. I think the videos are there too. Yeah, everything is there, so you can just listen. The lighting and the setting is bad, but that's what it is. Because I did it in my house and with a bunch of people in the living room, kind of a thing. So that's just what was. So there you go with that. And all right, I like the visual images tied to the CARM articles posted on Getter, which I don't know what that is. Yeah, I mean, I know what Getter is, but what's these images? Maybe consider attaching them to the corresponding article on the CARM site. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. So we've had different people doing stuff, and what I like to do when they work with CARM is I say, here's your domain. Just do what you want with it within these parameters. That's all. For it. I don't need explanations. If you have problems, come talk to me. See, I believe in giving people responsibility, and since they're grown-ups, handle it the way you see fit. Here's the guidelines, and don't go outside the guidelines unless there's a reason you need to. You let me know, and that's it. And we work. So what they'll do is develop their own like images. I tell them how to make images, where to make images, what to do with the images, how to put them in. I tell them all this stuff. Then they just are kind of set free to do their own thing. So that is a good idea that those who would do that, and we need to put the images in the articles. So if someone could find out where the things are on Getter, that's another thing, is maybe linking these kind of things into a social media grid on CARM so they can go there and look too. We've got so many things we want to have done, and it's just a lot of work. So basically, I work more than all of our volunteers combined. And plus, in the evenings, I like to do debates, impromptu debates, going into going into different chat rooms. So that's what I like to do. So anyway, there you go. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got that. We don't have anybody waiting. All right. So let me try. And she says, I post karma articles on various social media or send them to people. I think those images related to the articles are great, provoke people to reading the articles even more. They create, that's a good idea. It really is. All right. Let's see what this says. That says nothing. And, okay. Logical inferences or proofs are not invalid or invalid, not true or false. Okay, not good. Oh, someone said they made a mistake. Gotcha. Okay. Hey, there's some music. If you want to give me a call, all you have to do is dial 877-207-2276. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
Oh, praise my soul. God really loves us.
Yes, God really loves us. But for a lot of people, our attachment to the past outweighs our commitment to the future. We have to stop looking back and start looking forward. The Truth Network encourages you to forget the past, face it, and move on with the love of Jesus Christ.
Want to get out of just about anything and look like an earth-saving hero? Just use the environment excuse. High school reunion? Oh, sorry, can't. Planetary obligations. Unfortunate bridesmaid's dress. Unfortunately, you promised the climate you'd buy more vintage. Chauffeuring teens? Yeah, the earth really needs them to hoof it. That's right, the environment is always the best excuse. So go ahead, ask your bae to dim all the lights because carbon emissions. Tell your dad-botted dad to eat more plants for the planet, obviously. Kindly tell the kids to stop asking for a new phone. I mean, e-waste, right? Find your out and opt in to cutting carbon. Just visit theenvironmentexcuse.org. A public service announcement brought to you by WildAid.
Click this link now to review my bank transfer. I didn't make a bank transfer. Ugh, another phishing message. Are you frustrated by these too? So much of our lives are online today. To make sure my information is protected, I checked out CISA's Secure Our World resources. They've got 4 simple ways we can stay safe online. First, learn to recognize and report phishing. Next, create a strong, unique password for each online account and use a password manager if you can. Then turn on multi-factor authentication for extra security and you'll receive a code when logging in. And finally, turn on automatic software updates for convenience and safety. Click here to track my delivery. Another phishing message. But now I know how to protect myself from scammers, and you can learn too. Go to CISA at cisa.gov/secure our world for more quick, easy tips to be safer online.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, everybody, welcome back to... interesting. Welcome back to the show. If you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. Let's get to Blake from Discord. Blake, welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Matt. How's it going? Hello from Moscow, Idaho. Just wanted to give you a call. I finally made it home from Potlatch, but was curious, since we're both of a similar reformed cloth, Wanted to know if you were interested in being a key holder in a discipleship server. I remember in listening to some of your discourse with some of the young guys, you got a very big passion, for discipling young believers to be competent, and not only competent, but confident in the scriptures and in their faith, so they can represent it well and influence, be advancing Christ's kingdom.
Yeah. Sounds interesting, because one of the things I do want to do is start discipling, helping, training, whatever you want to call it, young people in the faith. Not that I've got all the answers, but, yeah. Sure.
Well, God surely has given you quite a few answers. I think one of the most interesting things you told me is that one of your professors was John Fram, and I'm looking at one of his books right now on my shelf.
Yep.
It surely would have been a blessing to have met him. But
he's a great guy.
Anywho's, if you had time to discuss that, I see that there's a lot of folks online in these different servers and whatnot, and a lot of the Protestants are very much ill-equipped.
Yes.
Very few that have a solid understanding of the scriptures. And it's so refreshing to have somebody like you who's older and has been doing this and been at it for a very long time, to be present. But I think if perhaps there was a place where you and maybe some others were discipling, and then those younger guys could get just pushed out, and that would almost, I can't think of a better word than wreak havoc in a good way.
Man, I like that. You're hitting the chord. Absolutely. We should talk. Now, are you on Discord? You're Blake.
Great.
Blake, what?
I am. Yes.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Well, the name that it's let me see here. I'll just shoot you a Discord message.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm on right now.
With my full name.
Okay, and I won't say it over the air.
And I put my cell number. That's okay. I put my cell number in that first message that I sent to you, and an invite to the Discord server that I created. But there would be a lot of information in this Discord for believers to learn how to fight their sin well. It is, there's too many believers on there that I've run into where they say this online server is a church. It is not a church. There's no elders there. There's no sacraments being given. The word is not preached. I don't have people looking into my life. It's not a church. There's too much not happening. But I would love for it to be a place where believers can come and they can say, oh my goodness, Protestant Christianity is actually very rich in its culture and history and its theology. It has answers. And if you're actually curious, here they are. We'll list them out for you. There's quite a few guys that I know who have gone to Eastern Orthodoxy or Roman Catholicism because most of the churches that surround them are very, I hate to say it, but they're effeminate. They're very challenged, and they're starving their congregants. But more on that is, if believers are having a hard time finding a church around them, like, well, this one is, this one has this doctrine beliefs, this one's Lutheran, this one's Presbyterian, this one's Baptist, this one, whatever it is, there would also be a thing in there saying, hey, here's some ideas to help you find a good church near you. And, if it's more of a wisdom call and there's less options available, what's the best one for you given your circumstances? Or is there a denomination that you could call or contact and say, hey, could you guys start something up here for me? So trying to help believers get plugged in that are really interested, helping them to mature and grow, and then pushing them out to just wreak havoc. Just like in these different servers where some of these other, the far right or far left ditches on the Christian road are kind of more dominant. These believers can be a lot more equipped. And I think it would be a blessing if, we had more guys, older, wiser gentlemen that were pouring into them and in a context where they can't be just talking over you, or each other.
Right.
It's more of almost like a classroom setting, but more of a one-on-one. I was thinking about this as you and I were talking on that other server, and I was like, man, I'd love to. I was talking to my father-in-law. I was like, man, I might go and have a cigar and a glass of bourbon with this guy, Matt Slick. He says, I know Matt Slick. Yeah, I pull some stuff for the guys that where he does college ministry at our church. He's one of the elders, but he was very happy to hear your name. Apparently you've been a blessing for him and the things that he's been doing. So,
wow. Well, I'll tell you what, while you're talking, I joined the server. Okay. So I'm in.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I will make you a key holder in it. And what I'll do is I would love for you to just review everything. I'm still working on it, but I would really like to kind of dial it in. I'm largely going off memory and the notes that I have from books I've read or what have you. Just trying to put as much information on there that I can so that believers have a resource of sorts.
Cool. Would it be too much to ask to put a channel in there with my name, Matt Slick? So if we do teach, they go in, they'll know if that's a good idea or not.
Absolutely. I think that would be great. Okay. And I'm trying to find a few other gentlemen to help me. I think it's a terrible idea for one person to have the key for the server, but I'd like for you to be one of them.
Sure.
And then a few more gentlemen to help with that as well. There's too many Rehoboams going around in Discord servers where they make all their peers their we don't respect folks that are older anymore.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah, so let me know. And just text me in there or do a message. Give me your phone number. We'll end up talking on the phone, okay? Sound good? And we'll get in tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate your time.
Hey, that's what the reason I'm so
good one. God bless.
Hey, one more thing. The reason I'm so agreeable to what you're saying is because it's on my heart lately more and more to start teaching the young people and ground them in the faith. That's what I really want to do. I've learned so much over the years. I really want to help people. So it's like, yep. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely. And there is a big need for father figures. So spiritual father in some sense is a huge blessing to the, men my age at 31 years old. It's a big need. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Matt.
All right.
Have a great rest of your day.
Okay.
Bye.
Talk to you later. Thanks. All right. So for those who don't know what that is, Discord is one of the main places I go to just interact with believers, unbelievers. And it's a thing that was designed originally by some gamers just so they could communicate with each other. And it grew. And a lot of people started using it. Now it's very popular. A server is just like a channel. Like a TV channel, it's a server. It doesn't have video. Well, it can have video, but anyway, you go and you talk. And so what I've been doing, going into these rooms, we call them rooms inside of servers, and they'll be filled up, 100 people at a time, sometimes more, 200, I think they get up to. And I'll just show up and they just start saying, Matt, would you answer questions? And so I do. I feel bad kind of sometimes because I go into the room just to listen and then they all want to start asking me questions and people are having conversations already and they get sidelined. And so I tell them, I said, look, you guys are talking. That's okay. I can wait. No big deal. And they go, no, we're good. We're done. They have questions. So very often it happens like that. And I start talking about stuff and I start just getting into all kinds of topics. Well, I have hundreds of pages of material on notes I've been collecting over the years. And I use a lot of it when I teach and answer questions, trying to teach people. And so, I'm 67. Who knows how longer I'll be around, but I want to be able to inculcate, to teach by repetition, to teach the younger people what the faith is and how to defend it. Not that I've got all the answers. but it's one of the things I want to do and maybe share. So that's what it is. Discord.com. You can check it out. Hey, there's the music. If you want, give me a call, 877-207-2276. Be right back.
When you hear the word Marvel, what do you think? It goes way back beyond superheroes and comic books.
True Commentary with Stu Epperson, author of the book First Words of Jesus.
Mark chapter 5, verse 20. A man has been set free, a man who was an ancient Frankenstein terrorizing people. They couldn't contain him with chains. They couldn't medicate him. They couldn't stop him. He was demon possessed, and Jesus showed up, and he cast that legion of demons out of this man, and he transformed his life. And it says this man went and told everybody about what Christ had done for him. And it says they all marveled at him. Why? Because Christ had changed his life. When's the last time someone marveled at the mighty work of the resurrected Lord in your life, at the grace that flows through you and the forgiveness you show to others because of his mighty grace, and because of his redeeming power? Hey, that causes people to marvel. And that, my friends, is marvelous.
True Commentary with Stu Epperson, author of the book First Words of Jesus. Available now in bookstores, or go online to firstwordsofjesus.com.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba, please be done. Over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Are you excited about being a new grandmother?
Of course I am. A little intimidated too.
Why?
Taking care of a baby today is so different than when I had you.
But Mom, you did great with me.
Thanks, son. But I put you on your stomach to sleep.
Right. But now we know that babies should always be placed on their backs to sleep for naps and at night to reduce the risk of sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS.
You also slept with blankets and toys in your crib.
True. But now we know to keep everything out of the crib except for my sweet baby girl. No blankets, pillows, or other soft or loose items.
Daddy's going to teach Nana all the ways to keep you safe while you sleep. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
For more tips on safe sleep for babies, visit safetosleep.nicchd.nih.gov. safetosleep.nicchd.nih.gov. Sponsored by the Eunice Kennedy Shriver National Institute of Child Health and Human Development.
And it's the Truth Network that really helped me come to the Bible. And I tell people all the time, they're like, well, I just don't know the Bible. And it's like, well, if you listen to the Truth Network, you'll learn about the Bible. And I just love you guys so much. I just love the Truth Network.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
Everybody, welcome back to the show. If you want to give me a call, all you have to do is dial 877-207-2276. All right, I want to hear from you. Give me a call. And we have nobody waiting, so I'm going to get on to, let's see, I'm going to go down to get some of the older questions people have asked. Let's see. Hello, Mr. Slick. Love your name. My question is, the verse mentioned Abraham's only son Isaac. They're not acknowledging the son from the handmaiden Ishmael. Just curious. Yes. Hold on one sec. Okay, there we go. So yes, the reason is because he was not, Ishmael was not the son of promise. And notice that God says of Isaac, to Jacob about Isaac, take your only begotten son. And so what he's talking about is that within the confines of his proper marriage that God had promised, that is the work of God, that he is the only begotten. And because it's the work of God upon Sarah, by which she then was able to conceive even at her old age, this is the work of God. So yeah, they had relations and produced Isaac, but God opened her womb, just as God opened the womb of Mary. And then the only begotten was shown there. And so in Isaac, we see a type of Christ, because Abraham and Isaac went to the hill to sacrifice the son. So Jesus was upon the hill to be sacrificed, and it was a sacrifice offered by the Father. So that's what I understand. I got to find a verse for that, but I'm pretty sure that's because it was there. Anyway, and both Isaac and Jesus carried wood up the hill. There was a helper, a servant that was with them, and Eleazar was there, and so the Holy Spirit is the helper. And they caught a ram in a thicket of thorns. Jesus wore a thicket of thorns, etc. And also, some theologians think it was the same hill that he was crucified on, except just a couple thousand years later type thing. So it was a definite plan that God had with Isaac, not with Ishmael, and that is why that is stated like that. All right, let's try this one. Hi, man. Learning a lot through your live show ministry. Trusted your website over the years, but didn't discover your live broadcast till recently. I have 2 questions. In Reformed thinking, is it possible for one to become a genuine born-again, regenerated Christian if that one is somehow not predestined for salvation? No. Predestination is a necessary aspect of God's elective work. Predestination means that God works what he desires by the counsel of his will. He works all things after the counsel of his will, Ephesians 1:11. And it says, those whom he foreknew, he also predestined, Romans 8:29. The foreknown ones are the predestined ones. And so it says in Ephesians 1:4 that he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we be holy and blameless. In love, he predestined us to adoption. So they go hand in hand, okay? What if one begs with all of their being, is it possible that it would not be God's will? Okay, first of all, anyone who would beg to be saved with all of their being can't do so unless God's working on them, because the unbeliever is a slave of sin, a hater of God, doesn't receive spiritual things. And John 6:44, Jesus says, you can't come to me unless the Father draws you. So the Father could be drawing them, convicting them, working on them, and then they're begging for salvation. Well, that's because of God's work. He's not going to reject them, okay? Or by the fact that one earnestly begs for salvation despite the ungodliness of one's character and behavior. Oh, that's everybody. That this plea is in fact evidence of God's choosing or predestining calling. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was just saying. Number 2, what is your analysis or commentary about a born-again, regenerated Christian who lives a lifelong cycle of earnestly following the Lord and then falling into serious immorality, sin over a lengthy period, and then seriously repenting and trying to change with zealous seeking of God, serving God, and then again falling into a protracted period of immorality, and then again entering in a serious or season of desperate repentance of seeking God's salvation from actual sin, etc.? What would your counsel of such a person be? Be careful, otherwise God's going to kill you. That's my counsel. You see, if you're really a Christian, you really are, then you've got to remember that I'm going to go to a verse. Here we go. Go to, let's see, 1 Corinthians 5. And he says, there was a man having relations with his father's wife. And let's see, he says, I've decided to deliver such a one to Satan for the destruction of his flesh, so that his spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord Jesus. An interesting verse. So the judgment upon a person is to be killed, so that they'll be saved. So let's say there's a real Christian, really is born again, and he or she is dabbling in things he shouldn't do. And he gets into it more and more and more. Well, God has his way of being very patient. Very, very patient. But look at this. Judgment can occur to such a person that he will judge them and take them out. This is a serious thing, because if you want to serve God and you're working against him or causing problems and you're indulging in various sins, well, then maybe God will judge you. So it's just a warning I've had to people that if you're going to do that, you be very careful. I knew of a guy, my old boss, who's a Christian, told me a story about a friend of his, and this man was a Christian, and he started dabbling in sinful stuff, and he got in some sort of an accident, and his back was broken. So he's on his back in a hospital bed or at home in a bed, for months. I think it took 6 months before he could really start walking again, something like that. I don't know how long it all takes, but it was a long time. So during that time, he repented. He repented, says, Lord, you got my attention. And he started studying the Bible. And he was healed and, healed up. And 2 years later, he started sliding again. And he started getting into the same old stuff that he shouldn't have. Another accident occurred, broke his back again. That time he repented and stayed on it. He didn't want to go through it again. So God's discipline was upon him. And this kind of stuff happens. I had a time in my life where I was disciplined. And God has his way of communicating to us various things and in various ways to discipline us. And if we continue to rebel, he'll deal with you. The dealing with you can be through a sickness, accident, or they'll kill you. Now, that's a serious thing. No, Jesus would never do that. He's blonde-haired, blue-eyed Caucasian surfer dude, dressed in a woman's nightgown, dressed, and he'll never hurt you. And so this is just something that is important, that we need to be aware of, and stuff like that. So, all right, there you go with that. Let's get to another. Oh, wait, we have a call. All right, let's get to Elijah from Philly. Elijah, welcome. You are on the air. What do you got?
Hi, Matt. I got 2 questions for you. So the first question is this. I was listening to the radio show called The Line a few days ago, and I heard Matt Dillahunty bring up this argument against Jesus, where he says that Jesus committed a sin. And hold on, let me see if I can bring this up. All right, so it's in Matthew 21, verse 3, where it says, if anyone says unto you, you shall if anyone says anything to you, you shall say, the Lord needs them, and he will send them at once. And this is the paragraph where he tells them to go take a donkey. So Matt Dillahunty's argument is that the reason why Jesus told them, if anyone says to you, what are you doing, to say this, is the reason for this is because Jesus was telling them to steal the donkey, and which would be a sin. Stealing is a sin, and so therefore Jesus was not sinless. He was flawed like everybody else. What is your response to this?
So let me get this straight. So in Matthew 21:3, it says that Jesus was stealing, telling them to steal, because he said, if anyone says to you anything, you should say the Lord has need of them, and immediately he will send them. That means he was stealing, right?
Yeah, because the people are like, what are you doing? Why are you taking the donkey? Which means that they had no business taking it in the first place.
But notice what Jesus says, and immediately he will send them. So he's saying the guy whose donkey it is will send him. He's saying the Lord has need. He's letting him know, and the man's going to say, go. Good. How's that stealing? Matt Dillahunty, if he says this is just stupid. Seriously, but it is. It's ridiculous. Okay.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat what you just said? Because my phone had I just made a noise when you had said that.
Sure. It's a very bad argument, because in the text, he instructs them to say, the Lord has need of them. So that means he's telling the owner, the Lord has need of them. And then he says, and immediately he will send them. So that means he's telling them this is what the need is, and the guy's going to send them. Go ahead. It's right there in the text.
When you say immediately send them, can you clarify who he's talking about there? Because I'm sorry, my brain is just acting a little bit slow today.
That's all right. Are you a Christian?
Yeah. We talked.
I just need to know. Are you a Christian?
Before,
I just need to know. Are you Christian? Yeah. That's it. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, because sometimes people call up who are atheists trying to pretend that they are Christians, and then they ask questions like this for trapping. They're just testing. That's all right. And if you're an atheist, I'll still talk to you. But notice what it says. Jesus says, go into the village opposite you, and immediately you'll find a donkey tied there and a colt with her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, you shall say, the Lord has need of them, and immediately he will send them. has need of them. Okay. A colt, right? A donkey tied there and a colt with her. So they're both going to go, the donkey and the colt, untie them. The Lord has need of them. And immediately he will send them. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if he says,
Yeah.
well,
Just
if he says, there's a couple of things to look at here. But if he says, well, he was telling them to do it, and if anybody asks, then you say it. Well, then that would mean that he was telling them to steal. Well, there is a technical problem that he would have, Matt Dillahunty, since God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, the Bible says. All that is on the earth belongs to God. It belongs to him. So if he were to take what belongs to him, it cannot be stealing. Just as when God executes anybody, it can never be murder because all have sinned against him. And so he could just carry out the judgment upon them. There's another explanation. Okay.
right. Okay. Yeah. And I see we only got like 2 minutes left, so let me get into my second question. My second question is out of Exodus 22 verses 2 and 3. It's about self-defense during home invasion, and I think in verse 3 it said, if you strike the person that is invading your home and they die after the sun has risen, then you shall be guilty or something like that.
Yes.
So my question is, what does the sun being up has anything to do with you being guilty? I don't understand that.
So we're almost out of time. It has to do with being able to see who's in the house and see what's going on, that you strike a person, because you don't know who it is. And it has to do with being able to see. So we're out of time. So call back tomorrow. Let's talk about it some more, okay? Because there's some more there.
Okay.
All right, buddy. All right. May the Lord bless you. All right. Hey, folks, we are out of time. May the Lord bless you. And by his grace, we'll be back on the air tomorrow. I hope to hear from you. Oh, no, wait a minute. We won't be back on the air tomorrow. I'm off for the rest of the week. Talk to you later. All right. Can you guys hear me? Sound check.
Gotcha. In StreamYard.
Again? Okay, one more time.
Got you here.
Okay, good.
All right.
All right. So if Laura, Joanne, and you, Charlie, can stay after everybody goes, talk to you about something really fast.
All right.
All right. Since we're off the rest of the week, it means you have to stay on 4 hours of StreamYard to make up for it. All right. Good. Matt won't be here this week. Yeah, I was going to I told the guys at the station, I said, hey, I can do the show. And they've already got everything set up, all the stuff in place so that I don't have to worry about it. And I said, well, you guys have days off around this and time off because of it. And they said, I said, don't worry about it then. I don't want to screw you guys' plans up. And they said, well, could you just take the rest of the time off? I go, sure, no problem. So that's all right. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Is on stage.
All right. Okay, sounds good. Go ahead.
Hi, sir. How are you?
You're doing all right, hanging in there.
So today's question. why don't we see miracles like the apostles did in the apostolic age?
Why don't we see what?
Miracles like the
Miracle?
Yeah.
We do. We see miracles. They happen still. There's lots of stories about them happening.
No, we don't have the miracles like Ananias and Sapphira. So when they lie,
Well,
they died right there.
you don't know if that's not happening today. You don't know. You don't know everything around the world that's happening if God's still doing things like that. You just don't know. You can't say it is or is not happening. All right?
That if somebody did something, they die. God, they die right away. If we do wrong, God punished them and they die right away. In the apostolic age, right now, people do a lot of things. They don't get punishment. They don't get. And for example, if people have leprosy, they don't cure well. If you have I didn't see any organic healing right now. If your legs are amputated.
Okay. I'm not sure what to say. Okay.
So you say that we have miracles like apostles did. We have miracles like the old apostolic age.
I can't understand you.
In the Old Testament, Moses did miracles to demonstrate his authority, right?
Yes, because he was Moses.
Yeah, why don't that happen now?
Who says it doesn't happen now?
Yeah.
How do you know? Look, logic. Do you know every event that's occurring all over the world in Christian contexts? No. So you cannot say it is or is not happening. That's all you can do. We don't know if God is or isn't doing stuff and all over everywhere. So you just don't say it isn't happening. To say it isn't happening means you know that it's not happening anywhere on the entire planet, but you can't say that. Okay?
So, like signs and wonders and miracles are still happening. That's what you believe.
I said, you can't say that things like that are or are not happening because you don't know all events all over the world. All right?
No, I'm asking a question, yes or not that question. So you think that there is some signs and wonders and miracles happening like the apostolic age still?
No, hey, hold on. Then you say, like the apostolic age. Now I have to ask you, what do you mean by like the apostolic age? You see, look, can God still do these? Can God still do these things today? Of course he can. Is he? Perhaps. That's all I can tell you. Okay?
We lost him.
All right. Logic. All right. Anybody else? Let's get Kit up here for a little bit. Hey, Kit.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, hanging in there.
I thought you were out the whole week, so I got in for 10 minutes of this.
It's all right. Well, I am out for the whole week. I'll just be here. I'm not going to the conference because my wife injured herself. And so I got to stay here.
I liked hearing you at the end saying we'll be back tomorrow, so I knew I wasn't the only one confused about it.
But I said, oops, no, not back tomorrow. I corrected myself before.
I know.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I know you corrected yourself.
All right.
Do you know anything about the Luther Bible?
The Luther Bible?
Yeah. It's one of the few I don't have in Bible Works, and I want to know what it says in Isaiah 9:6, if you know.
In the Lutheran Bible?
No, the Bible Martin Luther did.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So you're not doing the thing in Utah anymore?
What thing in Utah anymore?
Weren't you going to like a welcome center and preaching and all that? Was that last weekend or next weekend?
I did it Friday and Saturday already.
Oh, you did it already. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
As you can see, I'm on top of things.
That's okay. All right. Well, tell you what, I got to get going here, okay? So I'm going to shut it up and, all right?
Praise God and thanks for Carm.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Yep.
Okay.